So, not last night, but the night before, there were protests at the ICE and DHS facilities in Washington, D.C. And I would love to give you guys, here's a little clip here on Twitter from Chuck Modi, who I think Chuck Modi does a good job at doing these interviews. Highly recommended Twitter follow. He just goes to protests and lets people speak and then post the video. So, definitely a good source of if you like on the ground protest action. But this is what's happening right outside of the ICE and DHS facility, not last night, but the night before.
Today. So we are out here today with Total Liberation Collective and Resistencia Virginia to give a huge fucking message to DHS and ICE about its crimes against humanities and atrocities, such as not only its failed family separation policy that continues to have families separated and children.
I just want to say, I love failed. Failed is so good.
That continues to have families separated and children, 2,000 children that are separated, but as well as Gestapo-like practices when they snatch up immigrants from our communities, and a gridlock of these immigration cases that are pending in a failed U.S. justice system. And probably the most personal to me, to where I'm just like, where's the line, is performing mass hysterectomies on women without their consent, without them knowing what happened to them or fully coming understanding what happened to them. So we are out here to call an abolition for ICE, because although we've all summer been saying abolish police and all forms of police, abolish ICE is a part of that as well. ICE is one of the biggest forms of policing out there when it comes to its carceral punishment towards detention facilities, and as well as their facilities that are infected with COVID that don't provide adequate toiletries. So of all systems of police, that includes ICE, and we're out here to send a huge message to this area that where DHS and ICE are located, and a lot of federal government buildings, and Booz Allen Hamilton, which does contracting with the U.S. government on this. We're out here to tell them that we're not forgetting this, and we won't.
All right, so the thing there that I find, like, again, like the most disgusting, and I've been, doing this little news thing, but like the hysterectomy story, when that came out a couple months ago, and then there was like a couple days of like outrage about it, and then everyone forgot about it. Like, you talk to Trumpers and they go like, hysterectomies, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, the idea that, and this, like, that there is no opposition party right now, like, you'd think, okay, the Republican president is responsible for performing medical procedures on people without their consent and without their knowledge, right? You'd think, oh my God, right? Like, I know I hate to bring this dead horse. If Barack Obama, right? Barack Hussein Obama, no less, went out there and was responsible in any fashion for a single forced hysterectomy, let alone hundreds, right? But if Barack Obama were out there, Barack Hussein Obama were out there, and he did one hysterectomy, you would see these pro-life, like, how dare you? Oh! Like, you would see an outrage like you've never seen before. Now, the idea that was just like, it wasn't even really covered up, because, like, it's out there. It's just that no one gives a shit. I find it profoundly and deepeningly disgusting. And again, there's a lot of these protest demonstrations that are going on at the ICE facility, so I definitely wanted to share this with you, rather. But again, it's disgusting. The whole idea that, like, we as a country are just utilizing immigrants for science experiments, it's literally, and it's science fiction tier, like, movie villain stuff. It's just absolutely and irreparably damaging to people's lives, right? And then also, one of the other things is the abolition of ICE. Of course, ICE was a agency created in, I believe, 2002, after 9/11, if I remember correctly. And so, people out there are saying, you can't abolish ICE. We've always had ICE. It's like, okay, if you abolish ICE, you abolish borders. It's like, okay, so we had no borders in 1999? I don't know. It's weird, right? So ICE definitely needs to be gotten rid of. And the idea, again, that you can have stories such as the hysterectomy story just go out there, and then all of a sudden it's gone, it's dead, like no one cares about it anymore. I find that disgusting. So I just wanted to definitely shout out to these protesters who, again, if I still lived in DC, I would also be there, but unfortunately I live in bumfuck North Carolina and nothing cool happens here. So, anyway, not to say that this is cool, obviously protesting like this should not be required, but it's the world we live in. So, that's kind of what I'm going with there. But anyway, yes.